Dallas, Texas on the final Sunday night of the regular season and a few miles north in Irving, Texas Stadium. Sold out as always for the Redskins and the Cowboys. Good evening, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann and Paul McGuire, wishing you the best this holiday season. As Norv Turner enters tonight's final game, he can only wonder what might have been. His team has won 6 of its last 8 games, including 4 in a row. But, Joe, that's not been enough to overcome that horrible 0-7 start.
It really hasn't, Mike. And he got a lot of criticism when this team was 0-7, but he certainly has to deserve an awful lot of credit for holding it together in the latter part of the season when they've gone 6-2. But in this 8-game stretch, one guy has jumped out and done a terrific job. That's Trent Green as quarterback. He provides an awful lot of mobility at the quarterback position and has continued to make plays, and he's also done a great job of protecting the ball. In 8 games, he's just thrown 3 interceptions. That's protection.
And when you talk about turning a team around, our congratulations to first-year head coach Chan Gailey. He's taken a Cowboys team from 6-10 to winning the NFC East. But, Paul, instead of charging into the playoffs, they come limping in, especially on offense.
Well, this offense has only scored 2 touchdowns in the last 3 games. And talking to Troy Aikman, Larry Allen, and Emmett Smith yesterday, they said they would like to play long enough to correct this thing. But Chan Gailey, the head football coach of this team, said, look, because we're playing a playoff game on Saturday, the starters will only see limited action.
All right, Paul, Emmett Smith, 1 rushing touchdown away from a new NFL record. Darrell Green looking to close strong for the Redskins. Next on ESPN, Sunday Night Football. Back at Texas Stadium in Irving, let's go to the sideline to our colleague Solomon Wilcox with Washington head coach Norv Turner.
Thanks, Mike. Norv, you managed to win 6 of your last 8 games after the 0-7 start. How have you managed to turn things around?
Well, I think the key, Solomon, is that our players have continued to believe. And if you believe in what you're doing, then you always have a chance, and we've had that.
Now, without Deion Sanders playing in tonight's game, how does that change what you're able to do on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, the Cowboys have done a good job adjusting to not having Deion, but you can't replace a player like Deion. He helps you in so many areas, not only on defense.
Okay, thanks, Norv. And, Mike, the Redskins are trying to prevent the Cowboys from becoming the first team in the NFC East to win all 8 division games in a single season.
All right, Solomon, there's Chan Gailey. His first season at Dallas. He has his club in the playoffs. They will play the 4 o'clock game next Saturday right here against the Arizona Cardinals. Hughes from the 5. Straight up the middle. Tyrone Hughes across the 40. At the helm, his numbers are down this year, only 12 touchdown passes after missing 5 games with a broken clavicle. The other members of the Big Three are back. Smith among the conference leaders in rushing, and Irvin with over 1,000 yards receiving. Up front, power on the left side. Allen and Newton are both going to the Pro Bowl. Inexperience in the middle with Kiselak and Adams. Patrick Jeffers, the only wide receiver on first down. Emmitt Smith off the left side. Cuts it back, picks up 5 across the 45-yard line. Defense, Wilkinson, one of 2 big money defensive tackles, leads the club in sacks. The other, Stubblefield, out with a knee. Any consistency in stopping the run has come from the linebackers. Patton leads the team in tackles. Smith is second. The secondary has had problems everywhere except Darrell Green's corner. The 7-time Pro Bowler was superb again in his 16th year, and he says he plans to come back for a 17th. Blitz picked up. Aikman throws complete across midfield to Billy Davis. Hammered down immediately, but it's going to be very, very close to a first down. You saw him come up right at our goal 1st and 10 line. Marcus Patton with the tackle on the last play. The Cowboys offense has disappeared during the month of December. Only 11 points a game, 71 yards rushing per game. The 3rd down conversions almost 1 out of 4, and only 2 offensive touchdowns a year ago. Aikman with time in the flat. Billy Davis first down at the Redskin 35 in front of Chris Dishman, who has had a tough year after a brilliant 97 at corner. Emmett off the left side, cuts back behind it. Johnston blocked to the 31-yard line. Williams, number 20, is in to give Smith a breather. Aikman with time and tipped away at the last moment. Saved by Stanley Richard, who just got a fingertip on it. Billy. Four-man rush. Aikman throws, knocked away, almost picked off by Darrell Green.
Oh, man, you talk about 16 years in pro football and getting a jump like this on the ball.
Could have had 70.
Richie Cunningham with a 49-yard field goal attempt. Short. So the Cowboys with a good drive, but they come up empty. Here at Texas Stadium, their offensive troubles continue. Darrell Green, at age 38, he will be 39 shortly, one of the 5 oldest starters since 1970 in the National Football League, still runs under a 4.3 40. He might play forever. Green to throw again in the flat. That's his tight end who has moved to fullback, Mike Sellers. Here's the Redskins offense with Trent Green at quarterback in the last 8 games. Incredible numbers, 15 touchdown passes, only 3 picks. Injuries to Terry Allen and Skip Hicks moved Stephen Davis to tailback. Dallas has had trouble with big backs this year. The offensive line has been shuffled all season because of injuries and inconsistency. Joe Patton has been the steadiest player up front all year. For the Skins, he's number 30. End around, Shepard caught in the backfield and dropped immediately by Greg Ellis. The rookie stayed home and made the play. Matt Turk, who will go to the Pro Bowl as the NFC's punter, averaging 44.6 yards a kick, will punt it away to Tyrone Hughes. Partially blocked. Looked like Hayward Clay got it. Still loose. And I don't think Joe Avezzano was really thrilled that his guys touched it after it was downfield.
Excellent angle. There he comes inside all by himself. Great individual effort. That's just somebody wanting to get to the punter. What great individual effort. Look at him sell out and go after that thing.
First and 10 Cowboys at the Washington 46-yard line.
Sherman Williams is now out as a flanker, and he comes in motion. He'll get it on the flanker around behind Johnston. Got a big block. Hauled down by Stanley Richard at the 22.
And he goes inside. He doesn't stay outside where he's supposed to. Watch 92 on the end of the line. Here's Duff. He gets caught inside. Actually, Johnston doesn't have to block anybody until he gets downfield.
It's just the opposite of what we saw Greg Ellis do. We saw great discipline on the play before.
All right, watch what Duff does. Now, see him sell himself inside, and once he does that, Moose Johnston, number 48, doesn't even have to block him. They just leave him alone.
The rookie plays it right. The veteran does not. Emmett cuts it outside. Oriented running game under Chan Gailey than it was under Barry Switzer.
And it really placed a great strain on Emmitt Smith having to learn the disciplines of the footwork. That was his biggest problem. He spent time trying to figure out exactly what he wanted to do. Clarence Selman is the running back coach, and he went to Clarence and finally said, hey, look, I'm having a terrible time here. I can't get this. They looked at a lot of film. Chris Warren helped them. Resolved it, and there you see the results. Big gains on 1st and 10.
Almost like Arthur Murray. You put your left foot here, then your right foot. Aikman with time over the middle, incomplete. Tried to get it to his tight end Bjornsson, but he couldn't come up with it at the 10 mark because Patton, the middle linebacker, was there. David LaFleur, the big tight end, 272 out of LSU, has a sprained right knee and is out of the lineup tonight. And they hope to have him back for the playoff game on Saturday. David LaFleur, whose 20 catches lead the tight end group.
Sometimes mistaken as an offensive lineman.
Yes. 3 wide receivers set on 3rd and 5. Aikman flushed. On the run, knocked away by Dishman. Intended for Billy Davis. He was short from 49. And Cunningham now 27 of 33 on the season, and the Dallas Cowboys take a 3-0 lead over the Redskins. For Dallas, Lett was voted to his second Pro Bowl. Very quick inside. Ellis and Myers, both rookies, man the ends. Very good linebackers. Strickland, the run stuffer, and Coakley, a sideline-to-sideline player with 4.4 speed. In the secondary, Mathis starts for the injured Sanders. That's a huge loss, of course. Woodson is on his way to a 5th Pro Bowl. Bad back as he moves to the right side. Then Kevin Mathis moves in on the left, and there is Leon Lett, the 7-year veteran, shaken up on the last play.
The problem on the field is Corey Raymer, the center, lost his shoe, and he can't get it back on, so they had to take a timeout.
Career, he is out of Walla Walla. Green in trouble. Throws on the run. Steven Alexander, the tight end, who has become his favorite receiver with his 34th catch.
It's really become a favorite of Trent Green's. This is what you have to do as a quarterback. You have to know when to get out and go make plays. We've seen Jake Plummer almost patent it now in this particular season.
Green rifles this to the sideline, complete to Leslie Shepard. He should have another first down.
Renewed enthusiasm to this Redskins the second half of the season.
Play action by Green. Good protection. Oh, Shepard, what a catch. Holy cow, what a grab by Leslie Shepard.
Downs, 38 receptions, averaging almost 17 yards a catch. Here he works across. Now, Trent Green is buried back in that pile of people. He just extends himself and protects the ball. Look at that. Reaches out, brings it in, and protects the reception.
At one half of it. That's huge. He is something, this guy. That's the best corner I've ever seen.
Four-man rush. Green to his tight end, Alexander. He fumbled the football.
That's going to be Cowboy ball, I think. Of course, it's a scrum now.
Corey Raymer, number 52, the center, was down there, and it looked like the ball bounced back at him.
Now, this ball could have exchanged hands at least 2 or 3 times at this point. I mean, really, the key is to have a big guy get under there and start pulling. Biggest guy you can find to get in the bottom of that pile.
Former Air Force fighter pilot. I'd like him after it. Alexander talking to Nora Turner. Godfrey reached in and knocked it loose for Dallas. After the fumble, Dallas takes over at the 11. Emmett cuts it outside, then all the way outside. On 3rd and 3. Aikman, the quick out to Irvin, and Darrell Green stuffed him in his tracks. What a play by Darrell Green.
Of all the things that we talk about regarding Darrell Green, however fast he needs to go, Michael just steps up and Darrell just breaks. And he's a heck of a tackler. You know, everybody says he's just a cover guy, he's a small guy. He's a tough little guy as well.
Toby going to kick. Brian Mitchell is deep. Telling everybody to get away, and Fair catches it at the 49.
Just a pretty good football team.
A lot of people thought they would win the NFC East. That 0-7 start put an end to that. Green, lofting run, Shepard. Leslie Shepard knocked out of bounds at the 14-yard line.
He just 185 pounds, and you say, well, maybe he's a little frail. Mathis tries to jam him. He gets on top, but watch him go. He runs right to the ball now, and then shows his speed and acceleration.
Look at the air under this ball. That ball was perfectly thrown. Sanders went out. It affected a number of players, not just one.
Davis behind Sellers. Inside the 7-yard line. He's on injured reserve. Trent Green got away from the pressure, throws in the end zone, caught by Shepard. It looked like it was intended for Alexander.
See how he turns? This is throwing to Shepard all the way. He's not going to throw it that far behind Alexander. What a terrific pass. Only seen through the eyes of a quarterback. He's not going to, he's not going to miss him by that.
The Redskins have taken the lead over the Dallas Cowboys. Emmitt Smith back in at tailback as the Cowboys start just shy of their own 35. Throwing deep and caught. Down to the 15, Michael Irvin with the grab over Darrell Green, who ran with him shoulder to shoulder.
Michael now works just purely to the outside. He can't outrun him, but he can physically push him, move him, and when the ball is thrown that perfectly, there's nothing you can do defensively.
Emmitt, this time up the middle, bursts to the 5.
73, and I will run behind him. Larry Allen's on the right of the screen. Look at the double team here, and Larry Allen just opens up the hole. Emmitt Smith goes up the middle for 9.
And Smith have got to do a better job at the linebacker spot for the Redskins defensively.
Second and short, Emmitt up the middle to the goal line. No signal as yet. He will be just shy. As that would have been his 124th career rushing touchdown. That would have been the best of all time. He may get the ball again. Emmitt for the record. Got it. A standing ovation. Nobody deserves it more.
And he told us that he really wasn't thinking about it. Look at that. Are you kidding me?
Everybody else was.
That's so great. One of the real class acts in this game accomplishing what he just did.
Has never been part of it. He has been a wonderful role model along with being a Pro Bowl player. Cowboys back on top in their rivalry with the Redskins. ESPN Sunday Night Football is brought to you by Foster's Australian for Beer. By Gateway, let's talk about your gateway. By Charles Schwab. And by AT&T, it's all within your reach.
Emmitt Smith has always been one to keep his touchdown balls. As a matter of fact, he has them put away at their facility.
Well, the nice part about this thing is that everybody knew that he was going to get the football in the hole that they opened up with Williams and Flozell Adams on that side. Take a look at the left-hand side of the screen, and you're going to see the hole. Just outstanding blocking at the point of attack. Kiselek, the center, got a great block, and the hole was there.
There's the ball. Look at that man. So happy, so deserved. Now what do? You write down the date, you write down the number, and you stick it someplace real quick so nobody can see it. Hurry up, because that's the beginning of a new rivalry.
He mentioned the last game that they played at RFK where the Redskins just poured it on. Stephen Davis lowers his shoulder and burrows out to the 36-yard line. 3 for Trent Green and the Redskins. 11:44 to go in the half. Muscles this one outside, complete for a first down to Connell. Four-man rush, good protection, unloads in a hurry. Alexander has it to the Dallas 47-yard line where Darren Woodson made the stop. Here comes the blitz. Connell can't get there. Just overthrown at the 20. Kevin Smith had the coverage. Smith has broken Marcus Allen's rushing touchdown record tonight, and he did it at home here at Texas Stadium. And the football from its own 11. Aikman with time. Davis taken out by Darrell Pounds at the 31.
So you have to be the playmaker. Does a good job of driving off Pounds. Darrell gets totally lost. Billy does a nice job of coming out to make the play. And as usual, the ball is a perfect spiral throw him exactly where Troy wants it.
Aikman again. Davis, another grab to the Redskin 45.
to go down the field. This time, instead of running the out ball, they run the in ball.
Well, you want to know where they're not throwing the ball? You're staying away from Darrell Green. Look at him. He's out here on Mike Orban, and Darrell Green is looking the other side of the field.
Brought over by Chan Gailey from the Steelers, where he had him. Out on injured reserve. Green knocks this one away from Urban, and flags come in late.
Receiver with
Pass
your body.
interference, 28, defense, first down.
You know,
He thinks again.
Well, here's the bigger guy. Watch this now. Watch the contact. See, he hits him with his body before the ball gets there.
Emmett picks up 4 to the Redskin 26-yard line. Marcus Patton with the tackle. How is Washington? Gets another crack here. Breaks one tackle, breaks another, and cuts it outside. Emmitt Smith. Touchdown. Holy cow, what a run.
You know, the thing about this thing, it's all Emmett. And watch his legs, folks. Don't look at the ball, and don't look at all the blocking, because he gets some blocking. But watch his feet. They never stop. He moves back to the outside, he moves inside, and he sees the goal line. That was a great run.
26-yard scamper for a touchdown, his second of the game. Couple of missed tackles by the Redskins. Something that's hurt them all year. Cunningham for the point after. Emmitt Smith, third in NFL history with 1,000 yards, 8 straight years. Let's go back to the touchdown, which apparently was not.
No, he was not, Michael. I want you to take a look at where Emmitt Smith's knee hits the ground and where the ball is. There's his knee, okay? Here's the ball over there somewhere. All right, that's where the ball should have been marked. Now he reaches forward, winds up in the end zone. My question is, what is he looking at? He should be looking over here as well from an officiating standpoint.
Stephen Davis, room to run. One of the biggest proponents of instant replay is Redskins general manager Charlie Casserly. Davis again as the Redskins try to play a little smash mouth and get it up to the 36 for a first down.
Mistake that's made on the field. It will save a team.
Jerry Jones on the competition committee voted for it in the postseason this year. That's not going to happen, of course.
He was the only one on the competition committee that did vote for it.
Because they couldn't throw the ball very well. Still gained over 1,000 yards his last year. Davis again. He's got another first down for the Redskins. Out to their own 47. Dexter Copley tackled him. To here, a commitment to the run. Leon Lett goes right through Brad Badger, and flags fly.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, number 78 for the defense, 5 yards, still first down.
Offsides against Dallas. Sign with Rigo, the Redskins, old school football. Guess who else is there? Yes, sir.
Old Joe.
Old number 7.
Why do you always punctuate old?
That's what the sign says.
I know,
Old Joe.
But the way Paul punctuates it. Thank you.
Trent Green back to work through the air. Shepard as Kevin Mathis gambled and missed. Has already thrown for 134 yards, 5 for 79 for Shepard. Green drops it to Sellers. Boy, he just lowered his head and got what he could. New Year's Day off. Davis again. All the way to the 20-yard line. Woodson had to make the tackle, and Davis starting to wear down that Dallas defense. Defensive end for the Cowboys since Bob Lilly in 61. Trent Green goes to the end zone. Looked like multiple possession. And Dallas intercepts Alexander, and it looked like Kevin Smith, or is it Godfrey?
But are they in bounds? That's the question.
There's a lot of things at work here. If it's multiple possession, it goes to the offense.
Mike, I don't know if they landed in bounds because they certainly watch where they wind up. Look at this.
Godfrey's in bounds.
Yes, he is.
But who has the ball? Obviously, the Cowboys.
I think Godfrey was the first guy to get it. Heck of a play by Randall Godfrey. Team 7 take over at their own 20. Sherwin-Williams is in at the running back spot for Emmitt Smith. Aikman to throw. Completes it out to the 34-yard line to Eric Bjornson. Bjornson to the 47-yard line.
I'll tell you, Aikman is on fire. I mean,
That's the only reason Dallas gets the interception, but that is a tough call to make. Aikman pulls up. Caught at the 12. What a catch by Patrick Jeffers. Clock is running. Cowboys with plenty of time. Emmett is back in there. Excuse me, it's Williams. Stutter step from him, runs under Stanley Richard to the 8. 3 to go.
Patrick Jeffries, you see him up top against Darrell Green. Troy will slide around and buy some time in the pocket. Now he just starts running. Now he accelerates. And he stays ahead of Darrell Green, who can't catch up to him or the ball.
but look at this. Look where this ball is thrown. Jeffers, he gets him so far out to the outside that Green has no chance on the ball. Look at where the ball is thrown, Joe. I'm saying everything he throws is perfect. It's big guys that I don't.
The last 12 plays, you have the feeling the offense is just fine, thanks. Williams behind Johnston. Dives to the 5. Greg Jones made the tackle for the Redskins. 3rd and 3 for Dallas. Johnston comes back in motion. For Irvin. Too strong, covered by Green. This will be a 23-yard field goal try for Cunningham, who's 1 out of 2 tonight. Knocks it through, and the Cowboys take advantage again of the big play to Patrick Jeffers.
Everybody.
To go in the half. Green drops it to Mitchell. Looking for the sideline and got out of bounds at his own 48-yard line with 8 ticks on the clock.
Timeout right away.
Green's only hit 3 of his last 7 after 10 straight. In the flat, Alexander stays in bounds, then dives out at the 48 with 1 second to go.
These are great names.
Pretty good company, huh?
And all different running styles, too.
Yeah.
All very distinctive running styles.
Here comes the Hail Mary. Green waiting as long as he can. Tipped incomplete. We've played a half on Sunday Night Football at Texas Stadium, and the Dallas Cowboys coming alive on offense, leading the Redskins 20-7 at the end of 30 minutes of play. A record in that department. Brian Mitchell fumbles the opening kickoff of the second half and doesn't get back to the 10. On 1st and 2nd. Green, another pump and go. Into double coverage, picked off, and now ruled out of bounds. Caught by George Teague, but he didn't get his feet down.
You just make the pump move in the middle. See him look out? He's pumping out there. George Teague is broken already, and he's already collapsed on the sideline. And
Big Three did their job tonight, and it looks like their night is done. That's a pretty good half of work for those 3 guys.
I think so.
Jason Garrett, the new quarterback. Sherwin-Williams is in at running back. Garrett, who has had a good season when Aikman was hurt, throws to Bjornson, and Eric Bjornson to the Redskin 47-yard line, 1st down. How about at 38? Garrett waits patiently in the pocket, throws, and that one's out of bounds. That was intended for Jeff Ogden. Tim Denton on the cover. Don't you? Mitchell is back to take the punt. Waits at his 10. Good high kick by Goen. Mitchell lets it bounce. They'll down it at the 5-yard line. Darren Hambrick was there to grab it and down it after a punt of 39. Going into the playoffs, they're up 20-7. Stephen Davis stumbles and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Plus, he's got some backers behind him as well. Connell on the slant. Breaks a couple of tackles. 26-yard line and a first down.
Now let me tell you something. I'll tell you what happened. The official threw the flag on Albert Connell because he spiked the ball. The only reason he spiked the ball was because he hurt his knee and he was disappointed. Does a nice job of working inside against Kevin Smith. He's backing off. As he crosses the middle, he gets tangled up right there as he tries to make a break and gets his knee stuck, and then they land right on top of it.
Game of his career, number 3 all-time in yards, number 6 all-time in catches, finishing out his career with the Redskins, and the strike to Henry Ellard at the 32.
I talked to Henry before the game. I says, is this going to be one of those things where you go back to coaching? And he told the kids he's going to go back and coach again, and you'll come back. He said, nope, this is it for me. Look at him set up the route. Moves inside, slides in the hole. Hasn't got his feet really set yet.
Looks the football. He's been a great player for a long time. Spent a couple of games with New England before he was released. Green in trouble, and they got him back at the 20. Half of the Dallas defense came through. Michael Myers and Randall Godfrey on top of it.
Well, Trent Green has got to be able to read this. He gets some help. Stephen Davis, 48, steps up and makes an excellent block. Excellent block. Boom, there on Coakley. But there's just too many people.
You read safeties, though, Paul, as a quarterback. Linebackers should be picked up by linemen and backs.
Green, Shepard dropped the ball. Picked up by the Dallas Cowboys. Randall Godfrey, who had an interception earlier, has a fumble recovery here.
Oh, here we go. We'll have it. There it is.
That's a catch.
Oh, yeah, it's a catch. The ball gets knocked out.
Now, remember what constitutes a catch.
We have talked to the officials about this. Both feet down with possession, and he was turning to make a move. That's a catch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's no question. He's up. He's down. Watch, both feet are on the ground. He's got it tucked away, getting ready to run.
This is a catch.
Another blitz. Everybody coming. Green got it to Mitchell. Nothing there. Dallas is just swarming the Redskin offense. I'm looking at that. Williams, straight up the middle, gets to the 44-yard line. Third quarter. Williams cuts it outside, dragged down by Derek Smith. Got him around the ankles, about a yard shy.
We're supposed to help out.
Williams dives and very close to a first down. And 1st and 10. Garrett throws to the sideline, complete to Patrick Jeffers, who grew up in the Dallas area dreaming of being a member of the Dallas Cowboys. They got him in a trade just before the season started. He worked on the scout team. Nobody ever wins in that argument.
I know. They've been going at it for years.
Garrett under pressure. Kennard Lang has him, along with Dan Wilkinson.
You know,
Jeff Ogden is in as a wide receiver for Dallas. Garrett under pressure this time. And they've got him back at the 40-yard line.
that time Dan Wilkinson did the job. He was the guy that's responsible for this. Now,
2nd and 7 for the Redskins. Green to Ellard. Henry Ellard with a first down at the 27. Brian Mitchell is in on 3rd and 6. Green throws underneath. The catch made, but short of the first down up at the 36-yard line. Chris Thomas with the catch, but did not get the first down yardage. Then went on to get his 125th, and the souvenir goes in the box. He's got them all. He wants to auction them off to raise money for charity. That's his current plan.
Actually, it actually is 125. He's gotten 2 tonight.
Aikman's night is done. Wants the screen. Williams got it out to the 33. That play didn't look like much and still gained 7 yards. 3rd and a yard. Williams straight up the middle, first down and more. First down, Cowboys at their own 39. Patton and Richard. Garrett throws for Ogden. Flag down. That's going to be interference called on Tim Denton, the first-year player out of Sam Houston State.
Another defensive back like Stanley Richard or whoever's back there with you to tell the corner to turn and look, the ball is in the air. I mean, that's...
Williams hitting the backfield. Wilkinson again got through, got one hand on him, and just hung on. More serious speed. 3rd and long for Dallas. Garrett airs another one out. Denton, another interference call. If Denton does not turn around, he's going to get one of those every time.
I love that call offensively by Chan-Gailey. If you find yourself a pigeon who can't play the ball, you keep throwing it deep all day long. And Denton's going to sooner or later have to turn around and try and make a play on the ball.
Number 25 of the defense. The interference occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. First down.
Okay, give it to him.
Williams, and they'll whistle the play dead. Moose Johnston, speaking of him, has just made a tremendous
Prior
return.
to the snap, false start, 79 to the offense. 5 yards, still second down.
They're doing everything.
3rd and goal. Shovel pass to Williams. They'll lose a couple of yards on that one.
Football game. And like he told us, he ultimately wants to win the Super Bowl.
Cunningham with the field goal. The Cowboys extend their lead to 23-7. Cunningham has hit 3 out of 4 tonight. Back to Texas Stadium after this. In the second half from their own 9, their own 7, and twice the 15. And this play will be whistled dead. Deion Sanders, Joe and Paul, elicits the same response. We'll get the
Prior
referee's
to the
call.
snap, false start, 69, offense, 5 yards, still first down.
You ask offensive players about Deion Sanders, defensive players about Barry Sanders, you get the same response. Their eyes get big, and they just start to giggle.
It's been great.
Green under pressure, got away. Fighting for yardage, trying to get outside, got to the 22-yard line.
You know what?
Jim Jeffcoat, one of the great names in Dallas Cowboy history. One game, sacked Joe Theismann 5 times.
What is going on here?
I didn't even know that was coming.
Ironically, that was the game before
That was my
Joe's
birthday.
career was ended.
Yeah, that was the one just before it, but also here in Texas Stadium. September 9th, 1985 would have to be the lowest point, one of the lowest points of my career. Getting hurt would be. I sat on this bench in a game similar to this one. We were getting beat, and everybody here sang happy birthday to me in this stadium. And I hope they all get pulled in this song.
Williams across the 40.
Wow, wonderful.
Look, here's a look at Joe.
See those short little, ouch.
1,
Randy White.
2.
Boy, they took some shots at you.
Is this a complete? No, it's not. Everson Walls.
This one is.
Hey, well, thank you very much. And that's our fun bunch. That was a very special group of guys I had a chance to play with. It was old school.
And you had great hair in those days.
You don't know how many thrills you gave the people in Washington. So many times you won so many big games. We have ragged on you all season long. Well, it's the rhetorical we. Paul has. 9:05 to go in this one. Dallas trying to salt it away. Garrett out in the flat. Williams gets a block downfield and has a first down all the way to the Redskin 39-yard line.
I just don't understand at this point why the Redskins aren't just lining 7 people up and going after Jason Garrett. Go ahead.
You are a sick man. Williams into traffic. The people that you don't see are the people who support us so strongly. Our producer, Fred Godelli, our director, Mark Payton. They are the best. Pitchers. Our replay producer, Stern in research. Mark Fredrickson, as I said, our statistician. Our spotters, John Aronoff, Andy Clark, and Frazier Maxwell. Technical managers, Jeff Willis, Doug Dodson, Mike Armada, our operation producers.
Gotten to know one another in this year, which I think is very important.
And they will certainly be expected to produce more than they have this year, especially with all the money they're being paid. Garrett on 4th and 7 over the middle, and Davis had it and dropped it. Billy Davis on a strike from Jason Garrett couldn't hold it
For a while, and he's had to come in and play.
And Trent Green is very grateful for the time that he has had to learn as a quarterback. Well, Thomas makes this catch up to the 48-yard line. And tremendous ability to read defense. They'll whistle this play dead with 5:09 to go in the game.
Now this is
Neutral zone infraction on the defense. 5 yards. Repeat second down.
Control of the Washington Redskins. That North Turner has saved his job by the way his team has played in the second half of the season. And I think that would be a fair evaluation to make. All bets are off if a new owner comes in, because very often the new owner wants to bring in his people. Mitchell wants to throw the halfback pass. Intended for Alexander, incomplete. Flag is down. George Teague with great coverage. That might be offensive interference, and Alexander is hurt.
You know, Alexander gets caught at the line of scrimmage. He got knocked down, and that's what took so long on this play for Mitchell to throw it. Alexander was on the ground, had to get back up.
Pass is incomplete. First down, Dallas.
I think that's a great call because George Teague had perfect position on it.
Here comes the pass. George is looking back, doing a nice job. Okay, now here's my question, guys. I totally agree with the result of the call. What did he see to make him throw the flag? I guess that's the question that I have to see. There's no contact. George is looking back. Steven reaches over and gets his hand on the ball.
Quarterback and Mike Quinn.
With Jamie Asher as their tight end in the beginning of the season, Steven Alexander really didn't know what his role was going to be. But as the season went on, he grew more and more comfortable.
Williams still the running back. He'll get the carry. Straight up the middle across midfield to the Redskin 48-yard line. Clock working down toward 4 minutes.
Open to you can stay in the game.
Williams, and that's a first down for the Cowboys.
I like that, 8-0.
First big problem, came back in a phenomenal way.
Williams, driven out of bounds inside the 30. I think you're missing the point. Reggie White didn't do it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He needs to make a call to somebody else.
He needs to call Reggie to get the proper connection so that it can get done. That's what I'm saying. Not from his football team what he wanted to. North Turner, on the other hand, did not see the fire that he had in his football team the last 8 weeks.
And Troy Aikman said it best yesterday. He said, we've got to do better offensively, and they did.
Our final score, Dallas 23, Washington 7. Coming up next, Sports Center. Dan Patrick and Kenny Mayne with a complete wrap-up of the day in sports. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Solomon Wilcox, and our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick. Good night from Irving, Texas. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.